Hello everyone, and welcome to Going the Distance. So our next video project is going to be an animation. And you might be saying to yourself, Mr. Wheeler, didn't we already do an animation in your class before? Yes, but
This way's better.
so attached to this video, I've given you a link to a website that gives you a very detailed step-by-step instructions on how to create an animation using Google Slides. So that is what I did. Now you have two options when it comes to making a video using Google Slides. You can either get some pictures from the internet and make sure that you get transparent backgrounds if you do. Otherwise your animation is going to look like hot garbage. So you can either get you can either get images from the internet, or you can be super cool like me and draw your own assets. So I found an Android app that I use to draw some assets. So let's take a look at that. The app that I used to generate assets was this app called Artflow. And so you can see over here when I opened Artflow, I have a picture already loaded. And this is actually a pretty cool app that I was playing around with. So if you go into my gallery here, you can see I drew different versions of this character. And for some reason the other ones didn't save, but I also drew some arms and legs. And I wanted to do that so if I wanted my characters to move, as in like move their arms or legs, I generated different assets for each part. So there's a body with different faces, and then I also made arms and legs. And the way I did this is just simply, let's start a new image here. I just pulled up a pad and then I tapped on this little icon in the corner here. And as you can see, there are all different kinds of pens or brushes. Let me move this out the way. There's different kinds of brushes you can use. Yes, some of these are locked behind a paywall, but this is another one of those apps where you can watch an ad and it unlocks some stuff for you briefly. But I just use a very basic, I think I was using the charcoal brush over here. And then if any of you have used a drawing app before, you can change the size of your brush. You can change the opacity of your brush. And so if we go back to the image that I made before, I'm really happy with the way the hair turned out here, because it's sort of like use different pens, use different colors, and then I pulled up the smudge tool over here and then smudged this image up a little bit. So again, this is just a very basic app called Artflow Studio. If you are artistic and you would like to generate your own assets for your animation, this is the one to get. So as you can see, I am not good at drawing at all, and that's okay, because this is not a drawing art class. This is a visual art class, which means that I'm not paying attention to how good or bad your art is, although if you do have good artwork, that would be awesome. I just want you to play around with this animation. As with all the projects in my class, I'm really trying to give you a set of skills that you can then use to play with. So that's what we're going to do here. So you want to take a look at the video that I made? Oh, I'm sure you do. Take a look. It's the end of the universe. But the end is just the beginning. Two lonely consciousnesses float through the ether of space, and they meet each other out of nowhere, and suddenly a key appears. The two consciousnesses decide they must approach and touch. And then all of a sudden, a colorful vortex engulfed the universe and took them away until nothing. And And once again, the universe appeared anew. Hopefully, it will be better this time. So as you can see, I'm not looking for much. I just want you to play around with this format because I think that you can do some interesting things with it. The cool thing about Google Slides is you can add audio into the Google Slides. So if you want your characters to talk to each other, you can record the audio and put it into your Google Slide and it will play. Or you can guide yourself through the Google Slide and then do the voices yourselves. Or you can just do a narration over the top like I did. It's really just about playing around with Google Slides. This is the Google Slide that I used to make my movie. And as you will see, it has 161 frames. So the thing with animation, this seems like a lot of work, but for the most part, this is really just me highlighting my characters, which is super easy to do. Just highlight my characters and then move them around. And so once I did that, I was able to create a little short film. And that's all I really want you to do too. So if you use the resources I have shown you, then this is not difficult to do, but it is a little bit time consuming. But otherwise, you can make an animated movie using Google Slides. And I think that's pretty cool. So you're probably going to need to have over 100 slides. So this isn't a difficult project, it's just a time-consuming project, which is why I'm giving you 3 class periods to work on it. So your first class period will be writing your script and developing assets. And the second class period will be you animating your project. And then the third class period is going to be you recording and publishing your video. So you've got your Google Slide, but the big trick here is you need to record it. And luckily for us, Screencastify, which is a Google Chrome app, is offering a free period during COVID. So I've connected all that information in the post connected to this video. So if you get yourself a premium version of Screencastify, you can record your Google Slide animating, and then you can export that as an MP4, and then you can take that MP4 and put it into your video editing app. If you are using a computer, that's great. If you're not using a computer, you can download it onto your cell phone. What I recommend you do here is you record your video on Chrome and then save that video into your Google Drive. And then you can use your phone to go into Google Drive and download the videos to your phone. And then you can use an app on your phone to edit your video. If you don't have a computer to edit your video, or if you don't have a cell phone to edit your video, but you do have a Chromebook, then you can just try to record yourself doing the animation and just give me what you recorded from Screencastify. So you have lots of options here to do your video. And again, I'm just looking for you to play around and have fun with this. So again, I'm going to post all the relevant information in Google Classroom, but this is just a good way for you to see that you can do all kinds of cool things with Google Slides. I look forward to seeing your animations, and I hope that yours was as good as mine.